What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode. So since gaining collective bargaining in 1970, NALC has negotiated or has achieved through interest arbitration 15 collectively bargained agreements. Okay, and out of those 15, the closest one to where we are today was the one that was settled in 2019 to 2023. And don't worry, guys, that one took 17 months, so we're not too far away from one of the longest contracts ever negotiated on our behalf. So let's take a look at all these contracts and what was the wage increase for the city letter carrier. And that can kind of give us an idea of what we should expect and, not to get our hopes too high on what's going to happen in 2024. 1971 to 1973, the city letter carrier received a $1,250 raise with a capped COLA of $160. In 1973 to 1975, there was a $1,100 raise over 2 years, which came out to $550 a year, but they did get rid of that capped COLA. And from what I've researched, we have never had another capped COLA in any negotiated tentative agreement. One other thing I can say is we have never gave into management no layoff clause, which I see that they have fought to try to get rid of the protection that's in our contract. And I believe that the reason we have the layoff clause is because we agreed never to strike. 1975 to 1978, the city letter carrier received a $1,400 annual raise the first year. Again, no cap on COLAs. 1978 to 1981, it was settled through a partial arbitration. Letter carrier received $500 in the first year, 3% in the second year, and $500 in the third year. 1981 to 1984 was a negotiated settlement. The letter carrier received $300 annually throughout the life of that contract and a one-time cash option of $350. 1984 to 1987, there was a 2.7% general wage increase throughout the life of that contract. 1987 to 1990, there was a 2% increase in the first year, $1,300 a year after that. 1990 to 1994, there was a 1.2% the first year, 1.5% the second, 1.5% the third, 1.6% the fourth. 1994 to 1998, there was a 1.2% general wage increase each year. 1998 to 2001, there was a 2.5% to 3.1% average general wage increase throughout the 3 years. 2001 to 2006, there was a 1.8% general wage increase the first year, 1.5% the second, 1.2% the third, 1.3% the fourth, and 1.3% the fifth. 2006 to 2011, there was an 8.85% general wage increase over the course of the 5 years, which averaged to a 1.77% wage increase per year. 2011 to 2016 gets a little tricky because this is the year that the two-tier pay system was invented. Okay, so aside from the two-tier pay system, there was a 1.0 to 1.5% general wage increase through the life of that contract. Okay, now with the Table 2 carriers, they receive a portion of the COLAs that came with this contract, and they receive 2.7% pay step every 46 weeks. So those are our steps today. Those are if you're on step A. In 46 weeks, you move over to step B, and you get that little bump in pay, which is about $1. Then when you're in step B, 46 weeks, you move to step C, get the little bump in pay, but the bump in pay is a percentage. From the top of my head, I don't know the numbers, but let's just say from step A to step B, you get 62%. of what they get at step P. From step B to step C, you might get 65% of what they get at step P. So it's a trickle down wage increase from what we receive today, and that was negotiated in the 2011 to 2016 contract. 2016 to 2019, there was a 1.2% general wage increase the first year, 1.3% the second year, 2.1% the third year. And the last contract that we are currently still under, 2019 to 2023, there was a 1.1% general wage increase the first, 1.1% the second, 1.3% the third, and 1.3% the fourth. So with that contract, as I was saying, that took 17 months. Guys were pretty close to the amount of time that it took to arbitrate that last one, which was actually taken out of arbitration and ratified. We're kind of in a similar situation here where time is ticking, and Renfro is saying that we're ready if arbitration is to come. However, he wants to negotiate a fair and substantial contract for us. But guys, based off of these numbers, I mean, I hate to say it, but 1.1 to 3% is the biggest general wage increase that has ever been awarded to us, whether that was a negotiated settlement or whether that was given to us through arbitration. What I did see here was that even in times of great national disasters or attacks, or even during COVID, see, in 1998 to 2001, we actually were in contract talks when 9/11 happened, and the Postal Service was able to use that the mail at that time was significantly less. The Postal Service is a beast. It doesn't matter what's happening around the world, what's happening in the country, they're going to try to save money. In the last contract, 2019 to 2023, that contract was actually ratified during COVID. Okay, that was ratified in 2020 during COVID, when they knew what was happening. You guys were out there delivering mail, and they gave you the worst raise in history. So I just say that to say that, you know, these people, especially today with technology, with them watching us on scanners, with them trying to push us out of the office, they're not necessarily gonna care that we've been out here during the worst times in American history. So it is my opinion that without the help of the American public at large to support the case for the letter carrier, we may unfortunately see a basic 1.3% general wage increase. And I know that's disheartening. That's not what any of us want to hear, but that's what the numbers show. You know, in the last 50 years, percent wise, there's nothing here that screams a 10% raise. You know, over the course of 5 years, we might get close to 9%. They did it in 2006 to 2011. Over the course of a span of time, we might, if we look at 2019 to 2023, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. That's a 4.8% increase over 4 years. Okay. Based off of my math on my last video about the wage increase, you know, we're almost guaranteed 3% in COLAs. So with the 3% in COLAs and a 1.3, that's 4.3 immediately today. And then if we get another 1.3 over the next 3 years, that's close to 8. That may be realistic. Guys, I don't know. I'm just trying to use my brain here. It's definitely gonna be worth it if Renfro does negotiate it with them, so that we have the option to ratify it and the option to use our voice. But I think we need to become more, down to reality of what's about to happen to us, and prepare ourselves that, we don't lash out on the wrong people who don't deserve it, like our local union leadership, because they're not in talks on the national level. That's our national leadership. And so then, in order to come back from this contract, if it's not what we expect, that's where, going forward, 2026 comes into play, and we elect people that are willing to put their neck out there for us. But guys, I'm telling you, I just looked at, from 1971 to 2023, and I don't see anything in there in what do they call it, in precedent. There's no precedent raised here that screams that it's something that they're gonna just magically do. However, this is a great career. The benefits are extremely important if you have a family. So, don't just say, oh, I'm going to leave this job this year because it didn't work out. This contract was not favorable to us. We didn't get a 20% raise. I don't think you guys should think that. I don't think that is going to happen anyway. I think that's a lot of misinformation, a lot of hopeful people out there that, have done calculations and have figured that may be the number to bring us to even from what we lost in 2011, 2013. However, the math is not mathing on this one, guys. What we can do is look at the COLAs that the APWU has already received, and we will know that those are definite to us. We could break down that percentage and we could guess based off of that. But I don't see anything that's going to scream out 8 to 10% the first year. Guys, I hope that it does happen. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to be realistic. And that's what I see, but I only got 4 eyes. You may have 8. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in with me again today. And, thanks for all your support. Thanks for leaving comments and being a part of the community. And thank you for your service, and thanks for being a city letter carrier. All right, guys, stay safe out there, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow.